Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of the Anime Now Manga Later podcast. I'm your host, David, also known as Laugh Now Die Later. And today I got a topic that holds dear to my heart because this is something that I've been going through for the last year since getting into this whole manga and anime community. And that is, what is better, or the pros and cons of digital versus physical manga, like reading or just buying or any of that. So to start things off, before I get into this, I just want to show you guys. Uh, I may end up getting two more. Obviously, I need to get two more like of these canvases to put behind me, obviously, or I may just move the My Hero ones down. The My Hero ones I really like, cause they show Bakugo, uh, Deku, and Todoroki all like small as kids, but behind them and above, which you can't see, it shows them like how they look now with like their cool abilities and everything. So I may move that one down and move the Hunter x Hunter one up, but or just move them all. Why am I using the wrong? There we go. Moving this one down to like about here. So that way you can still see it in the frame, and then those drop it down as well, so you can see more of them, and then get two more, maybe Hunter x Hunter, or maybe switch it up and get like a Demon Slayer and another series to put there. But with that being said, I also have an announcement. I'm sorry that I didn't post this past Monday. I'm obviously recording this on Wednesday, the 17th of November, and probably will be uploading this the 17th of November as well. And the reason I'm late is just had a lot of things going on with work over the weekend, and I also went to stay at my grandparents' house for the weekend because I haven't seen them in a while. So that family, and work and stuff comes first. But I'm sorry I didn't pre-record an episode for then. However, I will be making a change to the scheduling only because I feel like it'll do better on this day. So instead of Mondays and posting on Mondays, I will be posting my podcast on Friday. Now, to not make you guys wait until next Friday, which is pretty much 9 days later, just like this video is coming out 9 days before after the last one, I'm gonna be having a video on Monday as well as next Friday, and then from then on, it'll be posted every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this Monday and coming up, I'll start posting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of 10 a.m. It's just more convenient posting it later on in the day. Middle of the day is just a nice time, in my opinion. And then Friday at 12 p.m. as well will be the new time. So Fridays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the new schedule change for the Anime Now Manga Later podcast. I feel like it's just better to do it at the end of the week instead of the beginning. And also, I will be giving you guys 2 episodes next week. Mondays may not be too long. This one may not be too long either because there's not really that much to talk about per se. I may go off on tangents, but that's what's great about a podcast is you go off on tangents, talk about other things besides the main topic. But Monday, I already know what I'm going to talk about because this Saturday, I'm going to AnimeCon NYC. Yes, I said it, AnimeCon NYC. I was going to dress up as Tanjiro, but costume was way too expensive and it wasn't going to come on time. So I just bought like the Eren Yeager like green hood. And my girlfriend, who has no knowledge of anime or manga, is coming with me. And she got the Mikasa like jacket. And then my god sister, who's coming with us, is dressing up as one of the characters from High School. Wait, no, High Rise Invasion. So that's what we're doing. We're going there, probably gonna buy some manga, just walk around, see what there is, and just have some fun because I've never been to an anime convention. I've been to Comic Con once in my life, and I was like 13, so I don't really have any experience going to like an anime convention. So I'm very, very excited for that. But with all of that being said, we're going to get right into this, talking about digital versus physical reading, or like the convenience of reading the manga on either or, the downsides, the upsides, whatever. So we're going to start with digital. So now, my experience personally with digital was that I never really liked doing it. Reason being was I was always a person that felt like reading physically was always the better option. Just having it in front of me, always just feeling the pages, having the artwork right in front of me on a piece of paper, always for me personally felt better than reading it digitally. Because there are moments where like I'm reading on the Shonen Jump app, which I'll get to in a little bit, where there's double spreads that usually you would open up to in a physical copy and be able to look at it both like this. However, reading vertically on my phone, and I don't like reading horizontally because then you see both pages. Um, when it comes to double spreads, though, it's better to read it horizontally. But how often do you get a double spread? So I'd rather read it vertically. But when it comes to the double spread, you got to look at it separate instead of looking at it together like you would in a physical copy. So that's the one downside that I personally have in my experiences reading. That may not be a flaw for everybody, but for me, it just gets annoying, especially when it's like great artwork. Like, I'm currently still reading Tokyo Ghoul Re, which is something I've been having kind of burnout from reading and haven't been enjoying as much as the original Tokyo Ghoul series. But the artwork still is fantastic, and some double spreads have been absolutely amazing. But I gotta scroll to look at the second half, and I'm not looking at it together. Then I have to turn horizontally to look at it, but it looks even weirder horizontally because it gets a little bit smaller, and my screen is already big, but still, it's just not as good as if I was holding a physical copy and scrolling through it and just looking at it like this. That's personally what I like when it comes to like double spreads. However, digital reading has become a big part of my like reading logs and like reading habits because it's just so much more convenient, especially when it comes to pricing. Now, digitally, you have apps such as the Shonen Jump app, which is literally $2 a month, and you get I don't even know how many, but you get anywhere between even numbers. So Seventh Garden's the first one, but that's the only one with a number in the beginning of the name. But you get A through Z of just anything from the Shonen Jump magazine, past or present, and also future, because they do add new series to read weekly. Like, for example, this new series called Ayashimon just came out, and it's going to be releasing weekly, and you can follow it weekly, which I think is amazing. But if I don't want to read a newer series and I want to read an older series, like about 3 weeks ago, I finished Bleach, and that series is completed. It's been completed now for maybe about 6 years, maybe a little bit less or longer. I don't really remember, but it's 600 and something, 84 or 5 chapters, maybe a little bit more, and I read all of it on the app for $2 instead of buying the 3 box sets for about $150 each. So that's about $450, maybe more because of the market nowadays. So close to $600 on 72 volumes of Bleach, which is still a deal than buying them singles, but still I saved 600. Like, if it's $600 altogether, I saved $598 right there to read Bleach. So for me personally, nowadays I've been more leaning towards becoming a digital reader over physically, which I didn't personally think I would ever get to, because I still enjoy reading. Like, the reading experience for me, physically and digitally, I do still prefer reading physically. However, it's getting to the point where, for money cost reasons, just for convenience reasons, I'd rather prefer reading digitally now. And that's just me. But that's because I also have other plans. My collection got big, but it's not as big as I want it. But also, I kind of am becoming more stingy on what I want to add to my collection. I'm being a little more picky. I'm not trying to buy just anything anymore. So I'm kind of slowing down on the collection. Also, may end up just one day selling my whole collection as a whole. Because of being able to read digitally for $2 on the Shonen Jump app. And then you also have other options. Listen, whatever you want to say about scans, I don't care. You can't tell me I can't read scans. Is it illegal? Technically. But when it comes to series that are available to the US, such as My Hero, such as Attack on Titan, such as One Piece, Bleach, I'm going to read it legally through the Shonen Jump app by paying $2. But when it comes to series that are well known and popular, such as like a Kingdom, or My Dearest Malice Self Aforethought, which is a series I absolutely fell in love with, if you guys may know. Those series aren't released in English, like physically, or just like official translations. So the only way I can experience those manga are through scans. So there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with scans if you have access to them. I feel like I'm more lenient to accepting someone who reads scans than someone who watches anime illegally, even though I've done it too. But I don't have anything against people who watch anime illegally. I really don't care. That's something I don't really care about. I'm just saying, like, I can understand more why people who read digitally through scans than watch things for free. I don't know, because I feel like you can access those series on legal platforms for a certain amount of money and you could still get, sub or dub. But that's besides the point. So for digitally, it's just more convenient. I could take it with me anywhere. It doesn't take any space. Like, if I bring, for example, Attack on Titan, it's 34 volumes long. If I want to binge read all of Attack on Titan, I have to pack 34 volumes to take with me on a trip. Whereas if I have it all on my phone, guess what? It's my phone. I don't got to take and waste space. That's what's good about reading digitally, is the convenience, whether it's space, money, um just also some paper and certain manga, like, publishers, the paper quality is kind of trash. Some kodansha really thin, you could see through. Maybe the prints aren't as dark as they should be. Digital form, you get nice dark lines. Obviously the paper, the scan is really white and nice, so it's sometimes can be better than the actual physical volumes for digital. So that's what I like about digital as well, and why it's grown on me so much. Can it be annoying at times? Also, maybe hurts my eyes sometimes reading digitally? Yes. However, it's gotten so convenient, money wise, traveling wise, and everything, that I honestly may eventually just sell my manga, keep a few series that mean a lot to me, and just move on to digital. Save a lot of money that way. Um, Still can contribute to conversations. I just don't have it in my collection, and I'm totally fine with that, because guess what? I'm 21. Eventually, I'm gonna move out of my house, get my own place. Probably won't get a big place in the beginning. I'm not gonna have a space for these two massive shelves that I have being filled with manga, realistically, unless I get lucky and find a good price for a good place. So eventually, I'm gonna have to sell my manga, which I don't care if I have to. At least I get some money and use that money to put in my savings. That's how I think of it, honestly. So if you ever want to buy something off of me in the future, keep posted on my Twitter, because I'll probably end up posting there, but not anytime soon, at least. So that's why, like, the pros and cons for me with digital, more pros, honestly, than cons. But if you would have asked me this like a year ago, I probably would be more on the physical side. But lately, I've been more on the digital side. But I still love me some physical manga. Okay, so moving on to physical manga now. I have an example here, of course, the last volume of Attack on Titan, which is a big volume. That's a big boy right there. But you know, physical volumes for me, like I mentioned before, it just feels good to just have the book. It's something, reading physically is what, got me back into reading in general, because I stopped reading pretty much. So yeah, it has a special place in my heart. When it comes to certain series, I feel like reading them physically adds such an experience to it. Like, if I would have read all of Attack on Titan on my phone, yes, I would have had a good experience, right? But I feel like reading it physically, holding it in my hand, just adds another dimension. You may not understand what I mean by that, but those of you who agree with how reading physically can be better than digitally, like when it comes to like the experience, you know what I'm talking about. I may be just not explaining it the right way at the moment, but you know damn well what I'm talking about when it comes to just sitting down, opening a book, scrolling through the pages. It's just, I feel like there's especially when it comes to like moments that just pop out to you, or like, let's say if you're reading a horror manga, I feel like when you turn the page and something creepy comes out, or like in Blood on the Tracks, how it's disturbing, and you turn the page and it's like a disturbing moment, I feel like it hits harder reading it physically, because you turn the page and you could just close the book real quick. With your phone, what are you gonna do? Press home? Like, come on. It's just like the experience as a whole feels more in tune with, like, I don't know, maybe not emotions, but just like your feeling, and like how you react to the story. It feels like can be better. Like the interaction itself feels much better physically, and I don't even know how, but it just feels like that for me personally. Um, so like that's like the big pro when it comes to, you know, physical reading, is just that experience, that feeling you get reading the manga. But everything else after that, to me, um, can be a con. Pricing. A manga price. These are $10.99. This one's $10.99. Shonen Jump titles like Chainsaw Man are $9.99. But then you got, bigger editions, like the Full Metal editions are $20 each. Yes, there are 1.5 in ones, but still, but the quality there is worth it. So I guess, it's fine. But when it comes to like these like type of releases, just regular normal releases, I forgot the Japanese term for it, I'm sorry. But depending on the publisher, they can get really expensive. Like Maruko-chan is like about $12.99, and it's about from here to here thick. Like, I don't understand. It's more expensive than this, and I get much more content in this single volume than I do probably in 2 volumes of Maruko-chan. Okay, so you just gotta be careful because a lot of things are just so expensive. Then you also got this whole world right now with COVID-19 and how the printing and distribution of manga has been hindered due to COVID-19. There's series that have been out of print for so long that maybe without COVID probably would have been in rotation to getting printed. Like Yu Yu Hakusho is a big series in Jump. Even today, the prints take forever. Fire Punch, big series from Fujimoto, whose new series, Chainsaw Man, is making waves in the world, so you would expect people to try to buy Fire Punch. I can't find Volume 2 anywhere. So there's a lot of out of print, out of stock items at the moment due to the world we're living in now, I feel like. And also, pricing. Like I said, 1 volume of Attack on Titan, maybe this is a bad example because I'm talking about the Shonen Jump app, but even then, 34 volumes of Attack on Titan, I bought them all singles. I pretty much spent $340, right? Over time, obviously, not at once, but $340, and I could have read it on scans for free, or read it on the Crunchyroll app for like $7. You know, but the experience I got from Attack on Titan reading physically is the best experience I've had on any manga. Period. Like physically, digitally, so it's worth it to me. But other series I have in my collection, it's like I could have just read digitally. Black Clover, for example, I got the first 3 volumes. I loved Black Clover when I binge read it. Reading weekly now, I'm not enjoying where it's at right now. I'm not really enjoying it as much as I used to. I'm not gonna buy the physicals for it anymore. My Hero I will, Jujutsu Kaisen I will, Chainsaw Man I will, to name a few. But when it comes to that series, I'm done. So I may just sell my Black Clover. So if anyone wants Volume 1 to 3, hit me up. All right, DM me at LaughNowDieLTR on Twitter. I'm weak, but I'm just kidding. I can't sell those. My girlfriend got them for me. She'll kill me if I sell those. I'm gonna keep those there. But yeah. So when it comes to pricing, again, if I want to go on a trip, I can't take as many volumes as I would want. I remember I went to Vegas and I wanted to read some Hunter x Hunter. Luckily, I was just reading what came after the end of the anime because that was all the volumes I got, and I brought it with me on the plane and I read. But the space that 4 or 5 volumes took up in my bag, I could have put something else in there. So it's like it depends. It's very this whole topic just again, it's kind of like the anime versus manga one. It's just all based on personal preference and convenience for you. Like in certain scenarios, reading physically is way better than reading digitally. Vice versa. You know, on another plane ride, I was able to read on the plane ride back from Vegas. I was able to read all of Chainsaw Man because I downloaded all the chapters and was able to pretty much binge read almost all of it on one plane ride on my phone. I didn't have to take out. I think it's gonna end up being 11 or 12 volumes. I didn't have to pack 12 volumes into my book bag, possibly bending them because it happened on one of my volumes. I forgot what it like. This whole thing just bent, so it messed up my volume. I don't gotta worry about wear and tear and none of that. And then you also gotta think manga. You gotta make sure you don't put it in an area where there's a lot of sunlight because they could get yellowed really quickly. You gotta make sure you brush off your shelves every once in a while because there's a lot of dust that builds up. At least in my room, there's a lot of dust sometimes. So I gotta dust my shelves every once in a while so that way, my shelf doesn't get damaged either or gets whatever. Like everything stays clean. You got to keep everything nice and clean when it comes to manga. It's not something that you could just leave there for long. You got to take care of it. You got to maintain it so that way, one, it could keep its value if you end up selling it, or two, it just looks nice that it's nice and well kept. So you gotta keep up with the manga as well. But I will say I've had way better experiences reading again with physicals. Like just it just feels better for me than digital. But when it comes to convenience, man, digital is just so much better for me. again, this is all based on what I think. You guys could have something different to think in the comment section down below. And if you do, feel free to let me know. I'm always open to hearing what you guys think about this topic or these topics. And we will be trying to get some call-ins back into this series that we used to do on my old channel. We had a few call-ins based on topics, so I do want to get back into those. It's just like this video is supposed to be uploaded already, but I haven't recorded or anything, so this is like a last second type of thing, because I need to get this video out for you guys to let you know that, hey, I'm not quitting on you guys again. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm still here. There's a lot's been going on in life, but I will be trying to keep steady with my schedule. That is why I am going to post 2 videos next week as like a sorry, and also to tell you guys my experiences at AnimeCon. And then hopefully the next Friday episode I can have a collab that I've been trying to plan for a while. So we'll see what happens with that as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much as well for 45 subscribers. We're close to 50 already, which is amazing. I was at 40 a few days ago, and I didn't check my YouTube channel for a while, and I looked back and I had like 5 more, and I was like, what the heck? So I definitely want to post so you guys can stay here and enjoy my content. So again, thank you guys so much. But when it comes to digital and physical, I don't really got much else to say, really, man. Like, there's probably more pros for physical that I'm not saying. There's probably more cons for digital, or vice versa. There may be more pros and cons for each, but those are just my personal pros and cons for each. I may have sounded this video like I kind of talked a lot of crap about physicals, but don't get me wrong. When it's a proper series that I like, I don't waste money, and I feel like I didn't waste money on, it's well worth it. Like, those $340 for Attack on Titan's a lot of money, but it was well worth it because I got the best experience I've ever had in a manga. Now, buying the first volume of Orient, that was a waste of $10, personally, So, yeah, it just all depends on the series for me. That's why I'm being more picky. Like, I have a few first volumes. Like, Golden Kamuy is a good series, but I don't know if I want to end up collecting that one. I may just keep the first volume and never buy the rest of them, because I can read it on my on the computer using my Shonen Jump app account on the Viz website, and read it all on there. And I don't got to worry about spending, I think it's like 20 plus volumes in, and those are like $12 each, so I don't have to worry about spending like $240 on manga. So those $240 could go in my pocket and can be used for other things, It's just all a convenience thing for me. Like I said, I'm being more stingy, or rather very conservative when it comes to what I'm buying in my collection now. I'm not going to go crazy like I used to. I haven't really gone crazy, to be honest. I've just been buying manga that I have in my collection already to fill in gaps, or new series that I already read digitally, such as Pluto is one example. I read it all digitally. It's 8 volumes, and I want the rest of it because I will end up rereading it because it has rereadability for me, and I love that series a lot. So I eventually will get all of that. But that's just an example for you guys. But yeah, this video was really short, and I'm sorry it was really short. But this was kind of the video to kind of hold off onto the next ones. Again, this podcast doesn't have a set time limit. It doesn't have a set, well, it will have a set schedule of when the videos are released. But, last episode was 56 minutes. This one's probably going to be close to 30. The next one may be an hour and a half. Who knows? But that's what I like about podcasts. It can be random. It could be quick. It could be long. Whatever you want it to be, it can be. So I really do appreciate all of your guys' support on my videos, whether it's the little jabs you throw at me like Saud, or the support from all of the rest of you guys. But I really do appreciate it. On the road to 100. We're going to get there soon, guys. I really appreciate all the support. I want to hit 50. That's going to be a milestone for me because, starting this new channel is not easy. Starting over is never easy. But if you guys can be so kind and maybe share this episode or share the channel to your friends who may like podcasts about anime or manga, please share it. Like if you haven't liked this video already. Subscribe if you're new. Hey, if you like what I do here, please feel free to subscribe, come back. Also, I do collaborations with people that watch in call-ins, which are something I do through Discord. And I want to bring those back. So again, follow me on Twitter at LaughNowDieLTR to know when I'm doing call-ins, so you guys can be able to participate in them based on a topic for an episode and be featured in an episode for some time. So yeah, that's something I want to bring back to here, and pretty much Im- keep improving this podcast. Have a lot of fun with it still, and yeah, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun this weekend. Let me know if you guys go to AnimeCon. Maybe I'll see people there, or maybe I just didn't run into you. But if anyone's going to AnimeCon, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think about digital versus physical manga. Which one do you prefer? What are some pros and cons of each that I didn't mention today that maybe you guys thought of? And what has been your guys' best experience reading physically? Like what series physically or digitally? You can name either or both, and I would love to hear your guys' opinion on that. So with that being said, that's pretty much going to be it for this episode. I didn't really have much to say. I'm sorry. But again, this was just kind of the episode to hold you guys off till next week's 2-episode week. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. This was Laugh Now Die Later on the Anime Now Manga Later podcast. Peace.